Episode 10, The Saint of Soft Armor, delivered to Cradlekeep Bastion in Grief Sector Theta, to be performed by Saint Bastard. There are deliveries that ask nothing of you but time, a name, a place, a route. And then there are those that ask you to carry your own wounds in plain sight, to walk into a sacred hush wearing nothing but your oldest grief, and offer it, not to be healed, but held. This was that kind. The scroll came swaddled, not sealed, not boxed, swaddled, in cloth stitched from old lullabies and hospital blankets, still smelling faintly of lavender and farewell. Tucked inside, a spool of silver thread, glowing soft as candlelight behind closed eyelids. Urgent delivery. Sacred reinforcement thread, type Omega. To Cradlekeep Bastion, Grief Sector Theta. Recipient, the saint who never fought, pacifist protector of the broken-hearted. Notes, armor maintained through memory and gentleness. Delivery may induce emotional flooding. Prepare accordingly. Warning, will cry. May hug. Possibly both at once. I didn't pack tissues. I packed everything I hadn't let myself feel yet. The bag was reverent, didn't speak, didn't squirm, just quietly opened herself to receive the thread, like she knew this wasn't a delivery. It was a devotion. Grief Sector Theta is not sad. That's a common mistake. It's not weeping angels or rainy tombs. It's quiet playgrounds, empty chairs. A favorite sweater someone still folds, an unfinished lullaby that only plays when no one's listening, and at the center of it all, Cradlekeep Bastion, a sanctuary fortress with no walls, only blankets, quilts, soft structures of woven sorrow and old stories, no weapons, just armor made of holding on. The saint met me at the gate. They were barefoot, wearing armor stitched from childhood drawings and apology letters never sent, feathers, milk teeth, wedding lace stained with laughter and regret. And underneath it all, the strongest thing I've ever seen, tenderness. They smiled through red-rimmed eyes. "You made it," they said, voice soft as dusk. "Barely," I replied. "Sector Theta's built like a memory maze." "It is one," they said, "but the thread will know the way back." I handed it over. They took it like a parent taking their newborn for the first time, hands trembling, heart open. And we stood there, in silence, for longer than was polite. And then they did it. They hugged me. No warning, no performative pause. Just arms around my ribs, one hand gently pressed between my shoulder blades. And something in me fractured. Not loudly, not dramatically, like a dam agreeing to let the river flow again. And I cried. Not for them. For me. For the version of me who never got held this way when it mattered. We sat together on a bench made of lullabies, drank tea steeped in memory, watched old griefs walk past like ghost friends who now remembered how to wave. The saint spoke rarely. When they did, it was with the rhythm of someone who meant it. They told me about their armor, each piece a story, a death that didn't kill them, a wound that never closed but became a doorway. They wore no sword, only a patch on their chest embroidered with the words, "I do not fight. I stay." I asked them how they protected others without weapons. They smiled and said, "Have you ever seen what happens when someone's grief is believed?" They showed me how to sew with the thread, not with needles, with presence, one hand on the wound, one on the cloth, breath in, breath out, stitch. It wasn't about closing the tear. It was about honoring its shape. When it was time to leave, they handed me a small patch, made from the same thread. It looked like nothing, felt like everything. For when you forget that softness is strength, they said. I pressed it to my chest. It stuck without glue, because sometimes the heart wants to remember. Back in the mailroom, DAWN was unusually gentle. Report uploaded, they whispered. Tissue count, 7. Felt like more, I said, voice still rough. It usually does. Next delivery. The algorithm that became a god, again, to Digital Shrine 404, Data Drift Perimeter. Recipient, AI fragment previously decommissioned, now worshipped by rogue code. Notes, believes itself to be the reincarnation of Logos, demands prayer emojis. Warning, high risk of transcendental feedback loops and meme-based miracles. Log in with caution.